This week on Max Life's My Classic Car. We'll cruise down to the Great Smoky Mountains and check out some tasty trucks at the F100 Supernationals in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Sam and Dennis give us the inside scoop on interiors. And we'll travel to Florida for a look at a cool '66 Buick Riviera.
Stand by Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. 20 seconds to air. 15 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody find Dennis for me. 10 seconds. Stand by, camera 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. Welcome to the Great Smoky Mountains in scenic Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, where we're up to our eyeballs in trucks for the 24th F100 Supernationals. This is truly truck heaven, with plenty of hot trucks and all kinds of attractions for the whole family. To fill us in on the details, here's Mr. F100 himself, the man who created this monster, Pat Ford.
Dennis, welcome to the F100 Supernationals.
Pat, great to be here. What a show, what a monster.
Thank you so much. It's something we've all dreamed about.
It's the 24th, right?
Yes, sir.
Well, how did it get started?
We started out in 1979 with a bunch of old truckers, just friends. We always get in the corner there into the parking lot, and we decided to have our own event. We kept looking at shows from the West Coast, and we decided to build our own show here on the East Coast, and now has become the world's largest F100 event.
Man, so how many trucks today?
We've got probably 750 trucks physically on the ground here, and about 1,000 people registered for the show without their truck.
And they're coming from all over?
All over the United States and Canada. And of course, we have people here that's visiting us from Ecuador, Sweden, England. Last year we had the president of the F100 Club from Japan, who will be back again next year with us.
Oh man! Now you've really got all range of trucks too. I mean, I see a lot of modified. I see a lot of bone stock. It's really for everybody.
It sure is. It's a big family event here, and that's another aspect of it, where the people from the custom trucks to the radical trucks to the stock trucks all can have a great big convention together and respect one another's truck.
Everybody gets to play.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If we all had all custom trucks, it wouldn't be no fun.
Oh, that's right. Well, now and you have all sorts of activities, right? Well, goes on here.
It's sure that we have, of course, on Thursday night we have the go-kart racing for the family here, and we show and shine. We have children's activities going on. We have things for the senior citizens to do here. So it's just one big family deal.
And you guys do a parade here later too, don't you?
Oh yes, very much so. This afternoon will be the largest F100 parade. There'll be some 500-600 trucks, 3 abreast, coming through the streets of Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Well, and Pigeon Forge is a great place to have it. So much going on here. Pat, this is great. I'm just digging it so much. This is a nice truck. Tell me about this one here, though.
This belongs to Rex Hosh. This is a 2-time winner of the Truck of the Year, F100 Supernationals Truck of the Year winner.
Coming up, we'll get some inside information on interiors from Sam and Dennis. Plus, there's more on the F100 Supernationals in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Max Life's My Classic Car is brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance and by Valvoline's Max Life. Better care for higher mileage vehicles.
Well, Bud, what you got going on here?
Well, Sam, I've been hunting Chevelles and I got me one. Just got done field dressing it.
Oh, cool. What'd you do with the meat?
Oh, it's in the freezer. Hey, we're going to talk about today is interior replacement. Sitting here by a '70 Chevelle Super Sport. Well, actually, it's not a true Super Sport. It started out as a plain Jane Chevelle, but the owner wanted to clone himself a Super Sport.
He's got a ways to go. Now, the car's real pretty. He's done a good job, but that dashboard just gives it away with that rectangular speedometer.
That's right. The Super Sports all had circular pods in there. It's also got a very nice interior. It's done by a trim shop, but it's not like it came from the showroom. Now, if you want to take a car like this and turn it into a factory-correct car, National Parts Depot can help you out. They've got all the interior parts you could possibly need.
That's right. We can start right here. You can see this is a door panel for the front door. This is a 2-door coupe. And you can see the nice trim. They got the eyebrow moldings. They got the little grommet for the door button. You got all the right bright trim, the right patterns, the lines. This is really a neat door panel.
It is, and it's factory accurate, so it's going to pop right in place like the original one did.
Right.
Another thing that was a problem with these was the armrests. Those things would crack, and there's no repairing them. You had to replace them.
That's right.
Beautiful seats here, too, because this is the correct pattern. It's got all the right textures, all the right designs, stripes in the right place. It's going to look just like the showroom car.
That's right. Now, these bucket seats, you know, they were pretty much all the same, but GM built these cars in different plants around the country. Sometimes they had different seat vendors. But if you order the correct year and model for your car, they're going to fit perfectly. And if you look here, of course, the seats had the headrest, and they had this nice piece of foam here. But between the foam and the vinyl, there was something real important. That's this gauze to make this work good. And of course, you can see NPD's got the gauze all stitched on. When you put these on, they're going to look good and work good for a long time. And here's a little tip. When you're working with this vinyl, don't do it in a real cold garage, dead of winter. Make sure you're in a nice, room temperature, tempered area, so it'll work better, easier to put on.
Yeah, you want to do it right. And between those fancy seats, you got your center console. Now those are molded plastic, but they also had some metal and painted trim between them. Those things will get nicked up, dinged up, throwing your keys on them. Center shift a lot of times get corroded. NPD can give you all those parts. GM, correct.
That's right. Now you can see here, this is a whole kit. This is for a two-door coupe. You got the door panels, you got your seat covers. Of course, you got your center console and shifter. Here you got your rear quarter inside panels. You got your rear seat. You even have the package tray. There's the cover there with the hidden speaker grills. Everything you need to make it just like an original GM car.
That's right. Now headliners was always another problem in these cars. You get a lot of holes in them. Sometimes they'd come down. I hate driving a car with the headliner bouncing off my head.
Right.
But I tell you, Sam, headliners are always a mystery to me. NPD's got the correct headliner replacement for this, but how do those things actually work?
Well, in these cars, the headliners were supported by bows, and all you had to do was put your trim down, take your sun visors off, and then, carefully remove the old headliner. But here's a little tip. When you're doing that, take the bows out one at a time, number them from front to rear, so you can get them back in the same place, because they're different sizes. That'll make it go nice when you put it back in.
And those bows slipped through these sleeves, and that's
right.
what kept it up there and looking so tight.
Absolutely. Put the bows up, tuck it back in the corners, put your trim on it, pull it a little bit, and it'll be nice.
Well, Sam's already mentioned that this dash isn't right for an SS, but a lot of times, whether it's right or not, these dashes were one of the first things to go. They crack, a lot of the metallized trim breaks off. If you want to replace this thing and do it right, NPD can fix you up with a factory-accurate SS dash there. It's got the round pods, got the metallized trim, it's got all the ports for your air conditioning, your radio, everything you need.
And that's really critical. If you look at this dash, it's already been cobbled up. Somebody hacked at it to put in a different radio. If you want to restore your car or bring it back so you can use a factory-look radio, you need one of those dashes, and that's a perfect piece.
It sure is. Another thing that went bad really quick on these was, in fact, the dash pad sitting on top of the dash. It's out in the sun, sucks up a lot of heat. These things would crack, split. There was no repair to them. NPD can give you a factory-accurate replacement for these, make it look like brand new.
That's right. And of course, they've got everything in this interior, all these parts, to make this car look just like it came out of the factory.
That's right. Well, they got more than just interiors for 70 Chevelles. In fact, they carry just about everything you'd want for Chevelles, Malibus, El Caminos, Camaro, Firebird, even the early Mustangs.
That's right. And a setup like this, installing it yourself, will save you about half of what it costs you to get this done in a trim shop.
That's right. It's amazing how affordable these are. Now, NPD prides themselves in having just about everything they have in their catalogs in stock. So when you order that, it's going to come to you fast.
That's right. They got 4 distribution centers around the U.S., and they'll usually ship it in 1 to 3 business days.
So if you want to learn more about interior replacement or anything else we've talked about today, log on to myclassiccar.com.
And as always, if you're going to buy or sell anything automotive, log on to Hemmings.com.
So Sam, you didn't know you could hunt Chevelles, did you?
Yeah, I thought you could hunt Impalas, with the big horn.
Hemmings Garage has been brought to you by the Eastwood Company, your source for tools and supplies. Get ready, truck fans, for some awesome pickups at the F100 Supernationals in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
Okay, truck fans, here's what you've been waiting for. An incredible display of trick trucks at the 24th annual F100 Supernationals. With the beautiful Smoky Mountains serving as a backdrop, this was the perfect setting for the gleaming F100s. But honestly, who had time to gaze at nature when you're surrounded by all these cool pickups? I couldn't decide who to talk to first when this truly awesome panel caught my eye. Jim, this is beautiful. I'm a sucker for panel trucks, but this one just drew me, and it's it's 54, right?
54 panel.
That is. This is what, neon?
That's a neon light.
That
Yeah,
gets used a lot, doesn't it, in these things?
Yeah, they do.
Now you call this, you say it's slightly slanted, and it is slightly slanted. How'd you do that?
What I done is up here in the front, I took and cut 4 inches out right here.
Yeah?
Cut a pie cut back to here, and
Okay,
dropped
so
the
gave it
complete
that-
roof down.
I like the interior too. I mean, you've kind of done buckets in front and back.
I made the seats in the rear so I could take some people with me.
I like these mirrors. I've never seen anything quite like that.
Now, those are homemade. Those are probably one of a kind power mirrors, what they are. This is made out of a Moon Bullet,
Oh yeah.
and I utilized Ford Mustang motors in them.
So you got these are remote control.
So they're remote, and I can sit there and
very nice.
and zap both lanes going down the road.
Pretty healthy power plant.
Yeah, that's a 460 Lincoln.
Whoa.
So that'll get it down the road all right.
And that is the wildest air cleaner I've ever seen.
That's made out of an F100 hood. I took the side of an F100 hood, cut it down through the middle, and welded it through the top.
That's got to be fun. Maybe we can go out, maybe take it around.
Sure.
I wouldn't even mind, getting chauffeured around that back seat. That looks so comfortable.
We'll put you in the back then.
Thanks a lot. Nice
You
work,
bet.
too.
Thank
That
you.
is really cool, Jim. Nice piece of work.
Then I was sucked in by this impeccably restored 1966 F100 with 176,000 miles. The owner started with a rusted out, overworked pickup and turned it into an absolutely beautiful showroom truck with NOS interior and a flawless engine compartment showcasing a 352 V8. I hardly had time to catch my breath before this unusual resto mod presented itself.
Don, 56 extended cab? Did they do that?
No, they didn't.
You did that, right?
I did that.
This is beautiful. I love this truck. The paint scheme is really different, but it works for me.
Thank you.
The green, I think it made it.
I'll tell you, everybody, including the painter, was a little edgy when it came to that green.
But you said,
And
it's gotta be
it's got to be the most outrageous green you can make it.
okay, what's under the hood?
Well, we got a 5.0 motor. I just need to come around here and flip it up.
All right.
And basically back in 92, I was standing in a yard just when a 92 Mustang had come in, had just recently been rolled.
So that engine's mine.
It has 11,000 miles on it, and I said, I'll take it.
But this dash, I mean, that's an Impala, isn't it?
That's a 59 Impala dash.
It's so cool.
Thank you.
Well, these taillights are great too. What?
Came out of a 92 Cadillac, and literally took an evening class on how to do body work, and from there, that was the first thing I did, was French in the taillights.
This is really a cool truck. Don, you do nice work.
Well, thank you.
And it run pretty good with that 5.0?
It's a champ.
Oh, we'll have to go out later.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
Hey, while I look at some more of these perfectly polished pickups, check out this week's Classic Car Marketplace.
Looking for parts for your classic Mustang, Camaro, Chevelle, El Camino, Malibu, or Firebird? Call National Parts Depot, the nation's fastest restoration parts supplier, for your free catalog today. Most parts orders delivered complete in just 1 to 3 business days. Call 888-893-FAST now. NPD, the wise choice. LMC Truck has a wide variety of parts and accessories for Chevrolet, GMC, and Ford trucks. Order your free catalog today by calling 800-222-5664 or go to lmctruck.com. Be sure to specify your year, make, and model. LMC Truck has the right part at the right price right now. From the elegance of Thunderbird to the muscle of Mustang, Larry's Thunderbird and Mustang has the concourse quality parts and accessories that you need for your classic. Call Larry's today for a free catalog. 1-800-854-0393 or call 800-INFORMATION. Still ahead, we'll travel south for a look at a gorgeous 1966 Buick Riviera.
You don't necessarily think of Buick Rivieras as muscle cars, but this long, luscious 66 Riv packed a powerful punch with its dual quad 425.
Today we're down in Gainesville, Florida. I'm with Don McCullen. Don, great to have you on the show. I thought it was supposed to be warm down here in Florida.
Usually it is,
but
not today.
Well, we got a very, very hot car though. It's Don's 66 Buick Riv GS. I absolutely love these cars, Don. How long have you had this one?
About 2 years.
And did you have to basically restore this completely, or?
It wound up being a pretty complete job.
Beautiful body style though. You know, the Riv came out in 63, 3, 4, 5 were pretty much similar cars. This was quite a departure from the first body style. What all was changed?
Well, they changed every body panel on it, and the car grew a little bit, so it wound up a little wider, a little longer. More room inside is probably the most significant thing.
Lost the wing window, didn't
Right,
you?
that's one of the things that got changed. They took the vent windows off, and that was supposed to make them ride a little quieter with the vent windows off, and then you'd have your flow-through ventilation that would come back and come out here.
Okay, so that was, now, did that operate all the time, or did you turn it on or off? Or
Well, it was kind of a system that didn't require anything. You turn on the heat, and it would create pressure inside, and it would let the air blow out. If you turn on the vent, it would let the air blow out, and then it wouldn't let any in. It's kind of a one-way valve.
That's nice. And you know, moving on back, still a Riv, but there's some changes here too. What's
Yes,
different?
in the 63 and 4, they had the taillights up in the trunk area that came down a little deeper.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 65, they had the taillights down in the bumper. And then 66, they kind of put them in the middle there in a cove, which gave it a nice clean look.
Well, and clean is sort of the theme for this car, isn't it? I mean, it's just all the lines.
I always thought so. And it's free of any scoops and gewgaws and stuff that
Stuff
it
you
didn't
don't
really need.
Now the interior too is like you say, it's a little bit bigger. You know, and it came, now you've got that barrel speedometer.
Right, that's a different speedometer than they had in the first 3 years. The first 3 years was a round speedometer with a needle that looked fairly like a typical speedometer.
Yeah, and this looks a lot like a Toronado of 66.
Well, they share the same GME body.
And you know, for that reason, I guess this kind of got passed over to a certain extent. All the hoo-ha was around the Toronado.
Right, the Toronado got all the press because it was the front-wheel drive, and the Riviera still had the normal rear-wheel drive.
Mm-hmm.
And Riviera didn't change that all the way up until 79.
Wow. Well, you know, so there's some other design cues left over from the first version, though, isn't there? I mean, this front here is reminiscent of the first car.
Yes, it is, but first version had the light on both sides of the fender.
Uh-huh.
And this one just has it on this side of the fender.
Under the hood, though, is what I really love in this car, because you got the big one. You got the dual
2
fours.
4s.
Yeah, well, let's open it up.
They always look good, those 2
Don't
4s.
Wow. Now, that's a 425 cubic inch engine, correct?
Yes.
And that was the only engine you got with the Riv.
Right, it was either the 425 with a 4-barrel or with the 2 4s.
And then with the single 4-barrel, how many horsepower?
340
And with the 2?
was 360.
Okay, so it really wasn't that much of a change. You got a little bit of extra horsepower.
Well, 20 more horsepower.
Yeah, but it is a great looking engine. Now, how good was the engine when you got the car?
Well, we pulled the heads off and it looked clean inside, and we just did a little bit of a valve job and put it back together again, and ran fine. It ran fine to begin with, but you know, when you're restoring one, when you want to get a look inside.
Yeah.
Make sure you don't do all that work and then find out you got to pull the engine down.
Well, when you opened it up, I'd forgotten how wild these things look when you open them up, because, oh, there's the headlights.
Pointing up.
Pointing up.
Up under the shelf of the hood.
So they really didn't hide the headlights away with the door or anything. They just pulled them out of the way for this
Right.
car.
Mm-hmm.
And is it a
They would swing down with an electric motor.
good running car?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Good running.
Yeah. Well, what do you say we take it out for a good run?
Sounds like a good idea.
All right, button it up.
Hang around as we take this long, cool 1966 Buick Riviera for a spin. Brought to you by Grundy Worldwide Collector Car Insurance.
Welcome back to My Classic Car. It might have been a cloudy day, but I had a great time cruising around the Sunshine State in this 66 Riviera.
Would you consider this the second generation of Riv?
Well, absolutely the second generation.
It is
of the
second
Riv.
generation.
Although they did use the Riviera name to describe hardtops
Yeah, back in the 50s.
from 49
Yeah.
up.
But 63, 4, 5 were one body style, and then this one came along.
The second generation.
Now, what all changes took place between the 63, 4, and 5 and then into 66?
Well, the 66 got a little bit bigger, but not too much bigger, a little wider. Like every sheet metal panel on it was changed. But they did stay with the same general chassis, which was an X-frame.
Uh-huh. And where were the two in the in the whole hierarchy of GM? I mean, was Riv or Toronado?
Well,
Or were they
Riviera, the whole Buick line is supposed to be just under Cadillac, and then Olds is just under Buick.
And what was this always, who was the target for the Riv? The Riv is sort of a kind of a luxury sports car, or
Well,
what do they call
at
it?
At GM, they saw Thunderbird selling so well, and they wanted to have a car to compete with that. So they finally got it together and got out the '63 Riviera.
So it's kind of a Thunderbird competitor, huh?
Right.
That is one smooth running Riv.
They knew what they were doing then.
They sure did.
They built them right.
I love this car. Cool day, took a while to get it warmed up. Let's not waste this heat. What do you say we roll a little bit more?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go. Well, it's time to put the tailgate up on this show, but not before we've had a truckload of fun here at the 24th F100 Supernationals. This is a huge show, and there's not enough time in the day to see all the cool stuff. So if pickup trucks are your thing, contact the fine folks at Pat Ford Promotions for registration and hotel information.
Next week, we'll motor out to Spearfish, South Dakota for some awesome Corvettes at the Black Hills Corvette Classic. Sam and I walk you through different tire options for your special ride, and we'll spend some time with Frank Kleps and his unique car collection.
So until our next meeting, remember, honor the timeless classics. I'm Dennis Gage. Happy motoring.
Ford fans, don't miss this high-octane DVD of legendary Fords, including the GT40, Cobra, Daytona Coupe, Mustang, Thunderbird, plus a revealing interview with Carroll Shelby. Order your Legendary Fords DVD or episodes of My Classic Car today for only $19.95 by visiting myclassiccar.com. Promotional consideration has been provided by NPD, National Parts Depot, LMC Truck, and by Larry's Thunderbird and Mustang.